Blackwood Manor, a name that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. This ancient, imposing structure has stood the test of time, its dark silhouette a constant presence on the horizon. A name whispered on the wind, carried through the rustling leaves and the swaying trees. The very mention of Blackwood Manor conjures images of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena. A place of shadows and secrets where every corner holds a story and every room is steeped in mystery. The manor's darkened hallways and dusty rooms seem to breathe with a life of their own. It stood on a hill overlooking a valley blanketed in mist. The fog would roll in, shrouding the manor in an ethereal veil, making it appear as if it were floating above the ground. The old house, with its crumbling stone and dark windows, seemed to watch, to wait. The broken windows, like empty eyes, stared out into the distance as if searching for something lost to time. I had heard the stories, of course. Tales of ghostly figures seen in the windows, of strange noises echoing through the halls at night, stories passed down through generations, each one more chilling than the last. Every small town has its legends. In this quaint village, Blackwood Manor was the centerpiece of every ghost story, the subject of every whispered conversation. It was a place that both fascinated and terrified the locals. Blackwood Manor, they said, was haunted by the spirits of those who had lived and died within its walls. Some spoke of a woman in white, forever searching for her lost love. Others mentioned the sound of children laughing, though no children had lived there for decades. Haunted by what? No one knew for sure. The stories varied, but the fear was real. The manor's reputation was enough to keep most people at a distance, its dark history a warning to all who dared to approach. But the stories were enough to keep people away, except for me. Drawn by an inexplicable pull, I found myself standing at the gates of Blackwood Manor, ready to uncover the truth behind the whispers and the shadows. The iron gates groaned open as if in protest. Their rusted hinges screamed with every inch they moved, echoing through the still night. It felt as though the gates themselves were warning me, urging me to turn back. But curiosity, that relentless force, pushed me forward. My footsteps echoed on the gravel drive, each crunch underfoot a reminder of the solitude that surrounded me. The night was eerily quiet, save for the occasional rustle of leaves in the wind. The path seemed endless, stretching out before me like a dark, winding serpent. The air grew colder as I approached the house. It was as if the very atmosphere was thickening, becoming more oppressive with each step. The mansion loomed ahead, its shadowy silhouette a stark contrast against the moonlit sky. The windows, dark and empty, seemed to watch me with a silent, malevolent gaze. A sense of unease settled over me. It was a feeling that gnawed at the edges of my mind, whispering doubts and fears. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, to turn back and never return, but something deeper, a need for answers, kept me moving forward. Inside, the house was silent, a kind of silence that feels alive, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. The air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. Every creak of the floorboards beneath my feet seemed amplified, echoing through the empty halls. Dust motes danced in the faint light that filtered through grimy windows. They moved like tiny spectres caught in a slow, ethereal waltz. The light was weak, barely enough to pierce the gloom that filled the room. It cast long, eerie shadows that seemed to shift and move on their own. The air was heavy, stale. It carried the weight of years, of memories long forgotten. Cobwebs hung in the corners, their delicate threads glistening in the dim light. They were like the remnants of old dreams, fragile and easily broken. I could almost feel the weight of the past pressing down on me. It was a tangible thing, a presence that seemed to seep from the very walls. Every room I entered felt like a step deeper into a forgotten history, a story that was waiting to be uncovered. But I pushed these thoughts aside. I couldn't afford to be distracted by the ghosts of the past. There was something here, something important that I needed to find. I steeled myself, focusing on the task at hand. I was here for a reason, a purpose that drove me forward, despite the fear and uncertainty. The answers I sought were somewhere within these walls, and I was determined to find them. No matter what it took, I would uncover the truth hidden in this grand illusion. The first night was the hardest. The manor, with its towering walls and ancient architecture, seemed to breathe with a life of its own. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional groan of the old wooden beams. Every creak of the floorboards, each step echoing through the empty halls, felt like a whisper of the past. The house seemed to be speaking in a language of its own, one that I was desperate to understand. Every rustle of leaves outside my window, the wind howling through the cracks, sent shivers down my spine. The shadows cast by the tree branches danced like phantoms on the walls, creating an eerie ballet of light and dark. I told myself it was just the house settling. An old place like this was bound to have its quirks, but deep down I knew there was something more, something that defied logic and reason. An old house like this was bound to make some noise. The creaks and groans were just the sounds of age, I reassured myself. Yet the feeling of being watched, the sense of an unseen presence, was impossible to ignore. But as the days turned into nights, the strange occurrences continued. The manor seemed to come alive after dusk, its secrets whispering through the corridors. Each night brought new mysteries, new fears. A book flew off a shelf, landing with a thud that echoed through the silence. It was as if the house was trying to communicate, to tell me something I couldn't yet comprehend. A door slammed shut on its own, the sound reverberating through the empty halls. Each incident chipped away at my skepticism, leaving me with a growing sense of unease. My rational mind searched for explanations, drafts, mice, anything but the truth. But the truth was becoming harder to deny. The manor held secrets, and it seemed determined to reveal them, one haunting night at a time. Then came the night I knew I was not alone. I awoke to a cold spot in the room, a presence. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it, watching me. Something moved in the shadows, a whisper, soft and cold, brushed against my ear. I was paralyzed with fear, unable to scream, unable to move. The feeling passed as quickly as it had come, leaving me in the cold, silent darkness. I had been foolish to come here, to tempt fate, but I had also learned something. Fear is a powerful teacher. It strips away all pretense, all illusions. It leaves you bare, exposed. And in that moment of pure, unadulterated fear, I discovered a strength I never knew I possessed. A will to survive. I would not let Blackwood Manor defeat me. I would escape. Dawn broke, casting a pale light on the horrors of the night. I wasted no time. I gathered my things and fled. As I drove away, I didn't dare look back. I could still feel the coldness clinging to me. The experience left an indelible mark on my soul, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond our perception, a darkness that can never truly be outrun. Blackwood Manor still stands tall, a testament to the unseen forces that govern our mysterious world, a warning to those who would dare to trespass on the unknown. Heed my words. There are some doors that are best left unopened forever. Some secrets are best left buried, for the world is full of shadows, and sometimes the shadows whisper back to us.